Since my background is in international human rights. At HT Pro Bono, we maintain databases of every federal civil human trafficking case and every federal criminal human trafficking case. So we're constantly looking at these documents for trends and research data. And one thing we began to see crop up in indictments and in complaints was victims with disabilities. And so now we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Disability Rights Network, and we are working with them and other partners to raise awareness about this issue. The violence and level of dehumanization and degradation of the victims in these cases are particularly brutal. In any human trafficking case involving not just a person with disabilities, involving anyone, there's a level of dehumanization that goes on. There's this one particularly brutal case, United States v. Bagley. It was a young woman with cognitive disabilities. She had a history of family trauma, was in and out of foster care, began dating a young man, and eventually moved into his house with his father and his mother. Very quickly, Edward Bagley Sr., who's one of the main defendants, very quickly began to groom her to be his sex slave, and he basically made her sign a contract saying that she agreed to be a sex slave, and he basically created an atmosphere in which she believed that this was a legal document and that she could get into actual trouble if she violated the terms of the document. He not only raped her, but he subjected her to BDSM sessions, which he filmed and then streamed online. He sold her for commercial sex to other people in exchange for not only money, but cigarettes, pornography DVDs. They forced her to strip as well in a strip club. And so there was both forced commercial sex and forced labor in that case, but the BDSM was particularly brutal. If you go through the indictment, just a litany of abuses. We are seeing in many of the cases involving persons with disabilities multiple layers of abuse and exploitation. So we see in a lot of cases wherein the trafficker will target a person specifically with disabilities to become their representative payee, steal their social security benefits, basically treat them like a bank, and then on top of that, force them into labor or sex. Here you're not seeing as many persons with physical disabilities being trafficked. We have seen more cases involving persons with intellectual, developmental, and cognitive disabilities. Persons with disabilities are 2 times as likely to be the victims of violent crime versus persons without. We think that the cases we've identified at the federal level are just the tip of the iceberg because